Hello everyone. It's Maddie with Spectrum Art Creations. Thank you so much for joining us today for Try It Tuesday. So for Try It Tuesday, we are going to try one of our favorite techniques, super easy to do. You only need a few items to do this, and most of them you have at hand in your household already. But it is a great way for those that do not like or a great technique for those that do not like to have any crinkles when they're using their napkins. So it is a great way also to reuse your envelopes. So if you have some junk mail and you want to upcycle them, this is a great way to do that. And of course, as we know, napkins are very economical. So we can do a whole lot with little budget. So we're going to work on creating these great personalized custom envelopes with zero wrinkles in them, because I know I have a few of you out there. I'm not going to name any names, but we know we have a few followers that are always saying, oh my goodness, I just hate the wrinkles. We get it. So let's go ahead and work on some without. So for this project, very easy. You're going to need an iron. Yes, this little cutie patootie is super funny, but it's kind of fun in the craft area. Of course, you do not need to have a special iron. Your regular iron is going to do. Just make sure that it's on high, and also that there is no water, that the steam is turned off and there's no water. Okay. You're going to need obviously something to kind of protect. This is just a kitchen towel to protect. You do not need this. This is just one of those Tim Holtz mats that I've cut in half because they had, obviously been worn down a lot in the middle. You're going to need some tape, regular tape, and then some saran wrap or plastic wrap. The cheaper the better. This is Walmart brand, so super cheap. And some scissors. That's it. Of course, your envelopes, and then some gorgeous napkins. So all we're going to do in order to create this, well, and also, by the way, envelopes can vary, right? So as I mentioned, these are recycled letterheads from our old business. So I am trying to recycle some of those, but you might have some bigger ones, you might have some smaller ones, whatever you have, including your junk mail, is going to work. So all we're going to need to do is we're going to need to find a napkin that we love. So let's get started. Now, because this iron is kind of small, it's going to take a little bit. But if you're using your bigger iron, I just didn't want to go upstairs and get it because, as most of you know, I broke my ankle, so I am in a boot, and it's a lot of work to have to go up and downstairs. So I figured I'd just use my little studio one. Grab some of your napkins. By the way, if you are on the market for napkins, we have hundreds of beautiful imported napkins in store. So just kind of go through your napkins and I don't know, let's see. Well, we need probably, this might be good for those smaller and skinnier ones. Dragonflies or sunflowers and apples. Are those daffodils? Maybe. Ooh, birch would be nice. I just grab a handful, or Madison helped me grab a handful. That would be very elegant. That would look so pretty. Just that one peacock feather there on the side. Maybe some patterns. Oh, look, we can even do a front and back, or a flap, and yeah, those two could go together. Some eggs maybe, or some toile. Love that one. Oh, of course, bees are super happening. So maybe some bees would be beautiful. And lavender. Everything is lavender right now. Oh, flamingos are super popular too. Oh, here's some more bees. See, Madison was channeling spring because it is the first day of April, right? Well, as I'm filming this, tomorrow when I release it, it will be April 2nd. So those are great. But you know what? We're going to need, this is the one that I already used. This is the other half. Okay. That's this one right here. But I think for this one, we're going to need a big square one. So I did have her grab me a few. Ooh, look. I like that. Very elegant. Of course, the castle is one of my favorites. So pretty. And we can do left or right, depending on how we want to use it. Or, of course, this one is gorgeous. It is a Henry Matisse quote about flowers. So again, very, very spring. Love it, Madison. Yes. But I think I'm going to go with birds. So let's get started because, We want to do this really quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a panel. Again, napkins are extremely economic because you get multiple panels in one, and they're, you know, fairly inexpensive, obviously. Of course, the beautiful ones that we import from Germany, you know, are not the same as those that you might find at the dollar store, but nevertheless, oh my God, I need new scissors. They're so dirty. Maybe I just need to clean them. But again, we would be able to get 4 out of this one, right? Then you need a piece of tape. That's it. And the tape is so that we can pull the plies from the back. It just makes it easy. Sometimes they just fall right off. Sometimes, you know, they give you a little bit more of a challenge, but the tape, oh, see, this one was easy. And save these. These are great for mop-up pages. They're great for making your own tissue paper because you can stamp on them, you can stain them, you can add texture to your project. So don't throw those away. Save your tape because you can reuse that many, many times. And then all we need is a piece of plastic, right? So I've already pre-cut one here. Kind of big though, but hey, that's okay. Do I have a smaller one? No, that's all right. Whoa, that is ginormous. That's okay. That's okay. And you're going to place your napkin where you want it. Now, you can use parchment paper if you want. That is pretty ginormous. Do I not have a smaller piece? Hang on. What about this one? Is this too small? That's too small. Okay. That's all right. Let's just move forward. You could use a piece of baking or parchment paper if you want, especially if your iron is really, really hot. Mine is not. Mine is actually the opposite. And all you're going to do is really just once you have it positioned where you want, and let's make sure I did position that right, is to iron. That's it. It's as simple as that. I think this is so big. Isn't it funny how when you do something and you're not filming, everything is perfect, and then when you try and show somebody how to do it and you're trying to keep in frame, it just makes it seem that much harder, which is not. Okay, like so. And now with this iron, because like I mentioned, it's got a very small surface and it doesn't get as hot as I would like for it to actually. And it's got a very short cord, by the way. So I'm like literally plugged in maybe 12 inches that way, but see, that's as far as it goes. So I'm gonna have to move this over some, but all I do is, and again, that's because this is smaller, is I kind of set it there and I just kind of mentally count. That's all. And then I count like 10 seconds kind of thing because we don't want to set the house on fire. And then I move it up and I leave it there. Of course, in the meantime, I will show you what I was doing. Oh, sorry. My chair is squeaky. And let's make some room. Because you know that those are all the items that you're going to need to create this. And so, oh, there we go. Can you guys see it? I hope I'm still in frame. I've been fussy cutting in between. So this is something that you can do even as you're watching TV. You can sit there with your bigger iron doing this, right? Because those get a lot hotter than this does. So, and the one thing I do focus on, probably more so than not, is once I've done the entire surface, I will go through and just kind of make sure that I hit those edges really well, because that's where they tend to lift. Okay, so if I need to fast forward through this, then I will, just so I don't have to keep you guys sitting here watching and waiting. But it's a great time to grab your fussy cuts and start fussy cutting, right? So if you have some digitals that you've printed out or that you've been meaning to get to, great time to do so. Okay, so I will speed through this and I will come back when this is ready, because I just need to do a few more edges and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, so we have left it on just a little bit and now we're gonna check it. Let me put this back on my little hot plate there. And I simply check it by, and again, let it cool off just just a smidge, but you can see it's got no wrinkles. Look how beautiful that looks. It looks like one solid piece of paper. I just kind of tug on it a little bit, and if it looks like it's well adhered, actually, wow, in this case, it's even kind of done the job for me. But typically the napkin is going to be a little bit bigger than, golly, the scissors are terrible. And it's my fault, I know. I cut sometimes when glue's still wet, and that's a no-no, but you know, sometimes I get impatient. But all we're going to do is go around as simple as this and cut away the excess plastic. And if you happen to notice, I see a little bubble here. What that means is that I didn't do a very good job there in the center. Again, maybe a little impatient because I want to show you guys the final bit. But that's okay, because really what we were after is getting those sides adhered. Now for anything like that, I don't even need the parchment paper anymore. I can just come in, actually the whole thing, I can come in, touch it up. Just make sure you don't have a lot of, see, I see some here, I just saw it, because it will get on your iron. Again, mine is specifically for crafting, so I don't really care. I can clean it up after. But if obviously you're using your household one, just, you know, maybe be a little neater than I am being right now. But you can come back in and now kind of just go over the whole thing to ensure that it is well adhered, and especially if you see any kind of a bubble like the one I had here in the center. But you can see just how perfectly perfect that is. You know, I didn't even look at the flap. I hope I didn't glue this upside down. There's another note. Check your flap before you glue stuff down. We lucked out. And in this case, I did not need, you know what, and I ironed that closed. You know why? Because I didn't have a big enough, tall enough napkin. But once it cools off, I'll be able to lift it. So no biggie. All right, so there's one, okay? So then I wanted to mention to you, because I love anything that is upcycled, right? And sometimes we get those junk mail envelopes and we just want to, you know, cover them up. But sometimes you also have them and they're quite big. So in this case, what you can do is cut them in half. That is just that tall one, and it's been cut in half. Of course, we're going to glue this side in order to make a uniform, you know, pocket. And then of course we are going to trim this after a while, but for now we're going to leave it this way. And I thought it'd be kind of neat to make a set, because we can do a set. Oh look, that one actually peeled itself right off for us. See, sometimes you don't even need tape. Do we want him to face up? Yeah, whichever way, it's fine. He's beautiful. Or she's, no, he, right? Yes, it's the male peacock that has the vibrant colors in order to attract the female. So it's a he. I think the female peacocks are just plain brown. I know we saw them at St. Augustine. When we went to St. Augustine, Florida, they had a bunch of peacocks, and yeah, that was super cool. You know what? I think what I want to do also is I want to do the flap to show you, because sometimes when you have a continuous napkin, you can do, if it's a big enough piece, and I could just grab another one, but you know what? We're here. Let's use this one, because I'm thinking we can do a peacock set. So we'll use this piece here. And this is another thing. You can collage your napkins too. So if you have bits left over afterwards, well, you know what? They're not trash. We can use them to create some cool collage. I didn't cut that big enough, did I? Did I? No. All right, let me cut another piece. We can use them to collage and make some really unique ones, where people are like, whoa, how did you get that? Well, you know, actually it was a bunch of leftover bits from napkins, and now they have a new purpose. So we can collage this way. And this one's a little easier to see through because I can also see where that's at. So I'm thinking something like that, okay? And then let's go ahead and again, I'll fast forward through this part because you guys don't need to sit here and watch me ironing. And then I think I'll do one of these and then I'll come back when all of those are done and we'll take a look at what we've got. Okay, sound like a plan? Let's do this. But you guys, of course, can hopefully be making these with us. Grab all of your napkins, break them out. I know you've got some, I'm sure. And if not, you know we've got them. And I know you have plenty of envelopes, probably a lot of junk ones that you've been saving because we love to save those, even the ones with the windows, right? And even if it's the longer ones and, you know, maybe the other half of it is not pretty or whatever, well, you know what? Cut them in half like I just did. And then you will have plenty to work with. And again, in this case, I'm just going to spread it out like that, making sure I've got enough plastic just to cover the edges. It doesn't matter if my napkin itself goes past that point. That's perfectly fine. And then again, we're going to piece this one here on this side, and that's going to look so cool, just like so. And in this case, I don't really, because again, my napkin is bigger than my envelope and I know I can get the edges. I don't even need to worry about putting on the parchment at all. Again, this iron does not get very hot, so I do have that as an advantage. Uh-oh, look at what I've done. I moved it over a bit too much, but that's okay because I hadn't even started on doing that one. So you do have a little bit of playtime. It's kind of forgiving. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll be back when this is finished. Okay, that one is pretty much done. I'm gonna let it cool off. See, there's some areas like that corner where it has not adhered. So I will come back, but after I cut it off, and you can see that there are no wrinkles on there. And then I'm going to create the match to that. Now this one is kind of, well, this piece might be a little too small. Maybe not. Oh, just about, isn't it? Okay. We're going to try and make it work because I do not want to waste plastic. That's one thing I hate. I really do not like plastic, so I'm kind of happy that this is yet another way of upcycling or using plastic. And especially if you've just barely used that plastic maybe to cover something, it can totally be reused. Okay, and I don't mind the fact that we can see some logo and text. Actually, that's kind of cool. So now we're just going to go ahead and move on and let this one start to adhere. And then I will come back and, we don't need the parchment. We're going to come back and, yeah, talk about and clean them up and talk about some other ideas. Okay, so with these two done, I can now go ahead and cut them. And yes, for the flap, all I did was add another piece of the other napkin. I figured the flap could have a different peacock look. We'll see how it looks. Sometimes it's more about experimenting, and you know, as you make these, you learn some tips, which I'm going to give you some tips here at the end of things that I've learned in order to improve and make this process a little bit easier for us all. Because sometimes these Try It Tuesdays, or when you try techniques or ideas, it's more about learning about what not to do, right? And that's why I kind of like these videos, because sometimes things seem quite so easy, and then when you go to make them, you're like, wait, that didn't work as easy as as they mentioned it would, or I thought it would. So we learn and we grow and we pass that knowledge along. So okay, so that one is clean. Again, that is that half, so I have to go back and re-glue that. Again, you can go back through, see, and check some of your areas that you'll need to reheat back up. See, you can see that there's plastic there. I don't know if you can see it, but it didn't adhere all the way. So now that it's cut, I don't have to worry about you know, my extra saran wrap tape, and you can see there's very little waste on that one. We can put that iron directly on there while we do other things. Just please don't walk away and forget it. And again, if you're using your bigger one, it's going to be much easier than this. But I'll trim this one as well. And then with this one, again, lessons learned, I will come back and show you what I'm going to do with that one. Okay? Okie dokies. So we've got, well, let's move this off to the side because we're done for that. We're done with that for now. We've got our two halves now. That was the one long envelope. We do have a leftover peacock, which was up here, so nothing is wasted. But now, well, let's fold it and see. Ah, we got a cool flap. We do have to add maybe clean up a little bit there and distress. And the same thing here. We've got a nice flap, but we need to give it an angle. So the easiest way to do that is to simply match up your halves and use it as your guide in order to cut that. I know it's not the fanciest of ways, but it is the easiest. Of course, I could have done that beforehand, right? So now I've got my flap on that one. Let's get the flap on this side to match up perfectly. Okay, we're close enough. And there we go. Now we're going to ink these up. Now this one, again, it's one of those things that you learn, right? I forgot to lift my flap, which I had done with all the other ones because the napkins were big enough, and I had decided to decorate the flaps on this one because the napkin kind of was perfect for that. I did not even realize that I had not. So when it heated, of course, it stuck. And you're thinking, oh no, it's ruined. No, it isn't. No, it isn't, because I'm going to grab this and I'm going to cover it on the back and make it even cooler. But the point is, and I'll show you this in a second, my point being is, oh, look at this. I just realized this is lifting a little bit. Nope, got to turn my iron back on. Make sure it's heating. Where's my little light? There it is. And I'm going to put this off to the side on that bottom. Okay. I forgot where I was. Oh, Lordy. I don't know. That don't forget that you can also use these for your journals. So it's not just for beautiful stationery and being able to mail and store things in a beautiful decorative way, or to send a greeting card, but you can also use these in your journals as flips, right? Or as pockets. So even if you use them, as tip-ins or tip-outs. And that's what I was thinking with this one too, that if I wanted to use this in a journal instead of a mailer, that's okay, because I'm going to recreate this flap. I'm just going to get some paper, and then I'm going to create a cover for this right here, which obviously got damaged as well with the excess pieces from the flap. And then we're going to cover this and make it look even cooler. And if you want them flat the way they are, great. But if you don't, and you want to embellish these and add, because that idea of being able to see through there, I thought, okay, that's really neat. So if we want to come back in and do some stenciling, even if we wanted to keep them flat, we can do some beautiful stenciling. We can do some stamping, add some text, especially to the ones that are more of the, have the whiter, not whiter, whiter as in the color background. Are we done? Yes, we are. Okay, perfect. Now we can turn off the iron for a little bit and talk about some of the ones that are more see-through, like that one, like this one. We're probably going to have a lot of white see-through in the back. This one too. Anything that's got that light color. This right here, although it already has beautiful images, we can do some stamping in the front or in the back of the birchwood too. Maybe even this one. Again, kind of, keep that in mind and know that you can add all kinds of stuff to the back as well, or maybe some watercoloring or some inking, distressing, all that fun stuff. Okay, let me cover this one up and I'll be right back. And here we are done. So our boo-booed one, I ended up covering it with some gorgeous paper embossed. As you can see, there's an owl up there. It's kind of hard to see on camera. There's some additional embossing here. And now we've covered the inside of the envelope as well. So now it is that much prettier. This one might be my favorite now. See, from accidents come, you know, happy moments, because it kind of makes us reach out there, right? But these, of course, we had already seen. Those were the ones that I started with, but these are the ones that we did on camera. So these are the other two. Here are the two peacocks. They are now closed, so now they are pockets. Super cute with the little flap. And here's the other side to that one. So those are ready to go into journals or to be mailed as well as that one. So as simple as that, we have now experimented with napkins and plastic. And I'm curious, you know, one of the things that I think I want to try is, one of my biggest struggles is plastic shopping bags. I wonder if it would work. If they're thin enough, it probably would work, right? And if the iron is hot enough, maybe not this iron right here. So in case you are considering buying this on, I think I got this on Amazon, just know that the cord is super, super short. I'm talking about maybe 30 inches. So you do not get a whole lot. So you probably need an extension cord if you do not have an outlet right like next to you, like right next to you, because this one's right next to me and it was still not long enough. So that's something that we've learned, that, and by the way, does not really get hot really quick or stay hot very long. So you're probably better off going with a bigger iron and just, you know, kind of letting it sit there, or just really quickly heating it up. It would be a matter of seconds per envelope rather than minutes, right? What else did we learn? We learned that we definitely want to open up the flap before you even get started, because if not, of course, they have adhesive, most of them, and it will self-adhere. In this case, hey, it ended up being a good thing. No worries. I love the way it looks, but if you just want to iron it on and keep going, then you definitely want to open up that flap. The other thing I learned was, it's actually better to start from the center and then work your way out. As you can see, none of them have a single crease on them, not a wrinkle, not a bubble, nothing. They're perfect. But I did realize that if I went from the center and then I kind of went outwards, it would actually hold the napkin in place. And then when I trimmed it, then I could just not worry about those edges, because I can come back and heat those edges after to make sure that they were really well adhered and they wouldn't be lifting here on the sides, right? I also learned that you want to really look at the position and ensure that it is well aligned, because this one, I ended up being short like here on the side, and then you could see where it went from that beautiful matte napkin to, you know, just the envelope. So there was a transition there. If it would have been big enough to cover the entire thing, well, fine. But if it didn't, then it does show the edges, which in this case, you can either ink, right? Or as I've done here, I've created a border around it, which again, ended up looking even better in my opinion. But again, just something to consider. So hope those tips will help you. Hope you have fun. Hope you will try this, of course. Don't forget to leave us a comment down below if you haven't already subscribed. I hope that you do, because we have lots of content, additional videos and tutorials, and I'm going to share a lot of information here. So if you are new, stay put, because I have more to share with you, including the fact that anything that you have seen here today and thousands more products are available in our online stores. So we hope you check them out. We have SpectrumArtCreations.com and our Etsy store, Spectrum Art Creations, all one word. Both of them have different items, so we do hope that you check them both out. Also, we hope you come back every week on Saturdays and join us for our live YouTube sales. That's right on this channel, we come live, and it gives you a chance to be able to see product live, chat live, shop live, all from the comfort of home, and be able to also join in all of the games and giveaways. That's right, all while you're sitting at home enjoying products from all around the world that we bring to you. If you are on Instagram, we hope you give us a follow, because we do also post on there as well, and that you join our Facebook group. It is Spectrum Art Creations Friends. So don't forget the friends, and also don't forget to answer the questions. It is a great place to be able to make new friends, post your creations, get inspiration from others as well. It's just a fantastic tribe to belong to. Also, if you haven't heard of Spectrum Art Creations Academy, well, let me tell you, it is a great place to be because you get to enjoy exclusive content. We have actual content like classes, workshops, craft nights. Why should you join? Well, there's a lot of reasons why you should join SACs Academy, not only because of the what I just mentioned, but because you can enjoy all of these benefits as well. It is a flat monthly fee and you can cancel at any time, but you will have full exclusive tutorials, even live classes to join into. So we hope that you join today, but there are so many more perks like all of these that are listed. So we definitely hope that you will check out Spectrum Art Creations Academy and become a member today. Thank you so much for joining us today in the studio. We will leave you with this other additional video so you can get some further inspiration. So we will see you there. Thanks. Bye.